Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Now I know it's been a while, I don't know how long it's been like at least a week since I posted. I do apologise. Unfortunately I have been extremely busy, so there's that on there, plus not far away from Christmas, so there's been a lot of stuff going on with Christmas, but I'm going to do a lot of recordings just to get through this week, and then for next week, and then after next week, this should be back to normal, hopefully. I say that, but yeah. But anyway, so today what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be watching a little bit of Paranormal Files new video. It's about 3 days ago. It's the Warren Occult Museum. So if you don't know, the museum for Ed and Lorraine Warren has now been taken over by Dan, I believe it is. I think that's his name, Dan. But he's taken it over. He's redone it. Well, not redone it, but he's taken ownership of it, as well as a few other people. We're just going to watch the first. We're not going to be watching 4 hours of it. If you do want to see the video, by all means, check it out. I will put a link to their channel in the description. Of course, I will put that link in for you guys. But yeah, guys, let's just watch it and let's see what we get into.
So if you'd like me to do a quick blessing?
Of course.
Imagine around your body a white light. It's called the Christ white light. First thing they'll do in there is make you forget your protections. You have a human ghost, then you have a demonic, and then you have what's called an inhuman demonic. You have 5 of them in the museum behind us. Everything you hear is a trick or a lie to confuse you.
Is there anything you think we should watch out for?
You'll know. You'll know.
I've been waiting years for this opportunity to get into Ed and Lorraine Warren's former home and their museum.
We're gonna see Annabelle tonight.
I mean, we just opened it up. You guys are like the first ones to get the whole house. Like the whole thing. Like, I mean, I've been in there and I've had bags get moved, like pushed off and things like that. Yeah. And we've heard tapping and we've heard huge banging.
So this guy here, this guy right here, he is the new owner of the Ed and Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum and their house. He took it over, I believe, at the start of this year. I think he tells you a little bit about it. I think he says it took a few years, and he got a phone call saying, alright, well, do you want to buy a house? And yeah, I think he goes over it. If he doesn't, like I said, watch the video. It is 4 hours long, but it is good. It explains a lot of things. But yeah, he took over the house, and he'll explain to you, or one of the guys will explain to you, how the house was chock-a-block. There was stuff everywhere, and yeah, it's really interesting to hear what happened to this house. But yeah, but this guy right here is called Dan. He's the one that took over the house.
Sounds.
I tell everyone, do not touch anything in here.
Do you fear God?
Oh,
Annabelle.
I warned you.
Ed, are you here with us?
Somebody needs to film us. Yeah.
A warning to viewers before watching the following film.
So, this is a warning. Again, listen to it, because I do really recommend you listen to it, and you do always take the precautions he's going to tell you to take, especially while watching on the screen.
Over the years, after performing over 500 different paranormal investigations traveling across the world, we have heard consistently from thousands of people online that after viewing one of our videos, a spirit has traveled through the screen and appeared in their own home. Viewers that have seen videos from this channel have experienced everything from scratches to knocking, and even on occasion seeing full figures, full apparitions in their homes after viewing footage from the locations that we film these episodes in. I don't know what you believe in, but I do want to warn you all that right behind me is one of the world's most notorious haunted objects. This is the real Annabelle doll, and tonight we are going to be investigating Ed and Lorraine Warren's occult museum and their former home. So, if you believe in all this stuff, please be sure to protect yourself. Cover yourself in a white protective light and a good energy. Say a prayer. Do whatever you need to do to protect yourself before viewing the following footage, because this could be our darkest video to date, and potentially one of our most dangerous as well. This is a real warning. This isn't for dramatic effect. We care about you guys at home, and I just want you to be safe whenever you consume content like this. Anyways, welcome to the Paranormal Files. This is going to be a video for the books. On tonight's episode of the Paranormal Files, we're at one of the most infamous haunted locations in all of America, and some would say the entire world. Ed and Lorraine Warren's house and their museum of the occult. Inside of this room...
I'm not gonna lie, when he was going over that, it kind of got so cold in this room. Like, I felt like coldness going across the whole of my arm. And it's like, my hair's not really standing up at the minute, a few of them are. But I felt like really coldness coming around me then. That was a bit weird. I've never ever had that. And it might just be that I've got shorts and a t-shirt on. I'm watching this and my body's tingling up, but I've already watched it once, so my body shouldn't tingle up. I already know what's coming. But yeah, that was weird.
Room are 700 of the world's most haunted items, including one of the most famous haunted objects on planet Earth. You might know her by name, and that is Annabelle. So join us tonight as we investigate this extremely important place in paranormal history, and we are some of the first people to ever be granted access to investigate Ed and Lorraine Warren's house itself. I don't even know if Elton has really investigated the house. He told us that he hadn't, so we might be the first to actually...
Sorry, I got the name wrong. It wasn't... It was... Oh my god. I can't believe I got his name wrong. I've been watching his videos for years. I still get his name wrong. So it's not Dan. It's Elton. I think Dan was another guy that I worked with. I might get them confused. I get people confused all the time. But yeah, Elton's the one that took over the property, or ownership of the property.
Do an on-camera investigation there. I am so unbelievably excited. But as always, guys, you know what I say before these videos begin. We don't know if spirits can travel through the screen. If you believe that they can, I might pray. I'm getting a chill right now, actually, weirdly enough. And cover yourself in white light before viewing this footage. I heard something. Anyways, my name's Colin Brown. Welcome to the Paranormal Files. Before we dive into the insane night my family and I just spent inside Ed and Lorraine Warren's actual house and haunted museum, I need to tell you guys about something that's been keeping me healthy and actually feeling good while I've been running. Spirit usually end up the most. I'd frat do fast food, fillets, and all for chicken.
I was going to say we'll skip over this part because it's just he's advertising Factor, which they're actually pretty good. I've used some of their meals before, but yeah. Please, just, yeah, skip the advertising. I'm not paid for that.
Con. So as we follow the trail of Ed and Lorraine Warren throughout Connecticut, we have arrived to a location here in a very small seaside town called Noank. Now, if you guys come over here, this is super cool. This is an old Victorian home known as the Palmer House. It's a very, very infamous haunted home here in the area. Interestingly, there was actually a newspaper article that referred to this place as the Noank House of Horror, because back in the day, I believe it was abandoned, it was very decrepit. Kids would break into this house and investigate it for paranormal activity, almost like a neighborhood challenge. Who can go spend the night in the old abandoned mansion, as it sat up here alone on this hill. Now, you can see that the place has been restored. It looks absolutely beautiful. But the reason that we're here is because back in the day in April of 1972, Ed and Lorraine Warren were actually pictured, I believe they were standing about right here on the cover of Connecticut Magazine. The Connecticut Magazine did a whole spread on the Warrens and they were their story of the month. So Ed and Lorraine were standing right here with a lantern. It was the cover photo for the article. And they discussed how this was one of the cases that they actually handled back in the day. They stopped by this house, investigated at the request of the former owners. And then if we walk down here, stormy winds coming in. Just look at that. God damn, it's creepy.
Look at the tree.
Yeah, it is. There's another picture of them that's famous where they were standing. There used to be a big fence around this house. Yeah, they probably would have been standing here on this hill. It's just really cool. It's one of those photos that if you study the Warrens and you look them up and you actually read all the media surrounding them, you come across this picture all the time. And there never seems to be any real explanation as to what the photo is of or the house that it's depicting, but it was right here in this small town of Noank, Connecticut. And I do have to say, the house looks haunted. It's just interesting when you go, especially as you're going to see in this video, as we traverse Connecticut. It seems like the Warrens have left a mark across the entire state. I mean, it's a woven tapestry of haunted locations and legends, and the mark that they left on the paranormal is tangible. But yeah, I think it's super cool to be here and be looking at this, especially since tonight we are going to their museum, and we're gonna be the first ones to see the setup seaflings. So
I feel like it's just another case story. I mean, there was so much mystery at the place we investigated last night. A place that's got glasses just being shattered and like nobody's heard of that. That's unreal. Like that's prime paranormal evidence, and we were the first people who investigated that. It's like, if that's happening over there and Ed and Lorraine are coming to this house, I can only imagine the things that were happening here.
right.
I mean, but nobody knows about it. I had never heard of this town until yesterday. So it's cool to see places like this. I mean, it's a beautiful house. It reminds me of that house that we did together. That was like
SK Pierce?
Yeah, SK Pierce. That was so snowy. I love this style of home. It's beautiful.
You got anything?
Wouldn't that be fun to be able to actually investigate in there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But just so cool to think that they were actually here. This is one of the spots. And, you know, until you're here in Connecticut, you don't realize so much history and so many hauntings. It's so fun. And yeah, exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it?
It is.
This is like the middle ground between both the videos that we've done in the past 2 days. We got the Palmer residence and the Warrens here.
And now, tonight, we're going into the mouth of hell.
Is it the mouth of hell? They're a very holy bunch of people.
All those objects.
That's true.
That's true. Annabelle tonight.
Annabelle tonight.
And we'll be sleeping by Annabelle.
Jeff will be sleeping by
Put her
him.
in his bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's call our getaway driver. It's some cool. So right now we're standing in a very, very infamous cemetery here in Connecticut. This is the Union Cemetery, and according to Ed and Lorraine Warren, this is one of the most haunted cemeteries on Earth, and definitely, in their opinion, the most haunted cemetery in the United States. Now, the Union Cemetery, as you can see, is a kind of spooky location. It just has that classic graveyard vibe with the old New England style tombstones and these beautiful.
To be honest, I think every cemetery is haunted. I mean, at the end of the day, it's where you're putting the dead. I mean, you're going to have hauntings. You're going to have things that are not explainable in a cemetery. And yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that it's haunted. It's like when you put that much energy so close together in such a tight area, it's going to cause manifestations. And paranormal stuff altogether. But yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. But
Beautiful leaves and trees behind us. But the biggest legend associated with this cemetery is that of the Lady in White. Now, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, people were seeing this woman in white, her spirit floating throughout the tombstones and on the surrounding roads in this area. Actually, one of the more interesting stories that the Warrens investigated was a story of an actual policeman with people in his car hitting this woman in white, her spirit, while driving on the road. And they felt her body slam into the car. According to the story, the policeman went forward and hit his dashboard with his head, but no one was there. So this ghost was actually physically there, and they struck it and it disappeared. People also claim that if you come over here, behind these woods, or behind this cemetery I should say, in these woods, they were able to document red eyes. Now they said that according to the Warrens, those red eyes belonged to a man named Earl Kellogg. Earl, his body, he was actually killed and his body was burned right across the street from here in the 1930s. They believed that he was the one who was kind of angrily haunting this place. But yeah, tons of different crazy paranormal stories stemming from this cemetery, including even a story of a random person who was here at the cemetery, and they said that a man in a suit with a fedora on got into their car and just entered the vehicle, and they asked him what they were doing and they disappeared. And you can kind of feel it. I gotta say, it's interesting. This cemetery feels it feels unique. Now I'm just gonna read this to you so I get these details right. There was a magazine article back in the day when they were trying to track down the identity of the alleged woman in white. One article said they believed it was the spirit of a woman named Ellen Smathers, whose husband was murdered by someone named Richard Dean Jason, a man who was infatuated with her and tried to hide her husband's body in a sinkhole near the graveyard. So there's a little bit of a murder story attached to this. There's also another theory that the woman in white could have been Ethel Hutchinson Knott, who plotted her husband's murder in 1920, and she could allegedly be roaming the graveyard looking for a chance to tell her side of the story in an eternal state of remorse. Finally, other people believe that this woman in white could be Harriet Seeley Bryan and Harriet R. Seeley, both of whom died in the mid-1800s. Harriet R. Seeley, whose grave is here, who we could try to find, died after giving birth to a son who also didn't live long. So there's a ton of different people that could be the White Lady according to historians, but tons of people have seen her around here. She's a very, very famous ghost in this area, and the story is also notable because according to the Warrens, according to Ed Warren, in the 1990s when they were investigating the cemetery, he claimed until the day he died that he actually captured a video recording of the White Lady walking through the cemetery. According to the people that have seen that footage, it is some of the clearest footage of a spirit ever captured. Ed said that the woman was walking through the cemetery and there were these dark shadows surrounding her, almost attacking her, some sort of a negative energy. But they haven't released that footage. I hope that they do one day. Hopefully Elton will find it and release it. But it's just crazy. It's like the house that we stopped at earlier in the video. This cemetery, you could go to Dudleytown, which we were going to go to, but something fell through. The Warrens left their mark on Connecticut, and their ghost stories are all over the state. And I'm a history nerd, I'm a history buff, so I love being able to step foot in these almost hallowed grounds and live that history for just a moment, to take you guys with us to experience what it's like here so you can see it for yourself, and we can continue sharing these stories. It's also just a beautiful October day in a spooky New England cemetery, so I really couldn't wish for anything more in life.
Look how ominous this grave is. She played the hand she was dealt.
Ew, that is a little ominous. All right, guys, it has come to the final moment here in the documentary. I've been waiting years for this opportunity to get into the location that we're investigating tonight, and I think honestly,
Yeah, let's just skip a few pieces. Yeah, we don't need to hear them talk about it. Right, let's skip back a bit. So yeah, so right now you're gonna see Rick, investigator and friend of the Warren family. So this guy's known the Warrens for a very long time. He's investigated with them. So this guy right here is the man to speak to or to even ask information because he will know it.
Hi, I'm Rick Clark, and I am in the Warren House, and I've worked with Ed and Lorraine since 1992 as one of their investigators, trained by them, and more important, more of a family member, and they were like a second parent to me. So we're at the house. We just switched it over. We cleaned it. We fixed it up. It's beautiful, and Elton has turned it into a overnight rental. And I'll show you the house if you guys want to see it. If you want to hear about Ed and Lorraine, I could talk about them. And they started New England Society of Psychic Research back in 1952. And Lorraine was psychic. She could see auras, and she proved it to me over and over and over again, even embarrassed me with it. She can tell what kind of person you are, what you've done, and what you're... So she was amazing. And Ed was... I'd ask that guy questions like crazy. He was a demonologist. He was studied for years in demonology and in the paranormal. And it was amazing learning from them and teaching. So it's... We're in the kitchen. This is the heart of the house, we used to call it. This is where they sat. It's where we ate, where we laughed. And it's a good starting point for what we're about to do. I can show you the living room if you want, or we can go outside. So let's see the
Let's
living
take a
room
look at the living room. Why not?
All right, let's do that. And again, when Elton came and Matt, Elton really put his heart into this. It was just, and we did take all the furniture out. That was here. It was all Lorraine's. That was her favorite chair right there, which is against this wall. We kept that here in a rocking chair, but Elton had a vision of what this was supposed to look like. So we basically took all the stuff off the walls and everything, and we remodeled it and put his own style into here, which is fantastic. And this is one of Ed's paintings that we found.
Wow.
Which freaked us out because when we found that, the day we found it, Elton and I were cleaning out the house, and he found it downstairs, and we put it aside. And then one day we're going through the pictures because Ed was an incredible artist. And Elton noticed, it said Warren and overnight guest, which overnight is the name of his thing. It was just fit so perfectly. So that was a good spot for it right there.
That is perfect.
Isn't that crazy?
Overnight guest.
We didn't realize it at first. He's looking. He's like, oh my God, Rick, look what this says.
That's awesome.
And it's the things we found in this house that were packed away for years. Is absolutely amazing. Amazing. The history of hauntings from the Amityville horror to just recently. I mean, it's incredible the stuff they had in here. You want to see bedrooms? Or
Sure, yeah.
just go, before we get into the heart of stuff, I can show you. This was in a bedroom.
So let me explain a bit. So this was Ed and Lorraine Warren's home. This is where they lived, they worked, they taught. This is where they did everything, really. And Elton had an idea that, well, it's a very famous and very well-known piece of paranormal history. Why don't we turn it into a rental? Why don't we turn it into a sort of a hotel type of thing so people can rent it out, stay, and investigate? And it's kind of a good idea, you know. So they started to go through all the stuff and that, and as you can tell, he's just said they found that painting. It matched perfectly with his idea, so they thought it'd be a good idea to put it up, things like that. I've always wanted to go and visit the occult museum and the house. I've always wanted to go and see it. It's one of the things I want to tick off my bucket list. I have so many places I want to go and see. This is number one. This is on the top of what I want to go and see. So, yeah. Of course, I knew who Ed and Lorraine Warren were before the Conjuring movies. I've heard of them. I heard of their work. And again, it went back to personal experiences with, of course, me going back to when I used to live with my mum and my stepdad, and we were hearing weird noises. I would wake up in the middle of the night, start seeing children running down the hallway and stuff, apparitions, things like that. So weird things happening. It went back to that. So it's kind of embedded in me. It's kind of what I wanted to do. So again, and he even says in there that Lorraine Warren, she was psychic. She could see auras. An aura is pretty much your spirit. So they can see your spirit. Is it a good spirit, a bad spirit? They can see anything around your spiritual energy. Things like crosses. If you have a cross on, that shows a strong spiritual aura, which means it's a good spiritual aura. And Ed was a demonologist, like you just said. Demonologists are one of the... You will never know if someone's a demonologist unless you speak to them personally. They're not easy people to find, and a demonologist is what it sounds like. They identify demons. They're like... what is it? They're like the priest of a Catholic church, but they're not, of course, demonology, it is studied in America. It's very studied in America. A lot of people do teach it, but here in England, demonology is not taught, and the reason why that's not taught is because it's left to the Catholic Church to decide who comes and who doesn't become a demonologist, or an exorcist, or things like that. So over here they tend to leave it to, of course, the Catholic Church to decide, and then it goes back all the way to Italy, to where you go and see the Vatican, things like that. So it all links together, but yeah.
Now, this was called the Den, and it wasn't exactly it. Ed had a desk in here. Desk is still here, and we put a bed in here, but it was filled with just more of their artifacts that they've collected over the years. And it was even to the point where we were moving stuff out, and this wall moved, and I realized there was a broken door handle on it, which is still broken, but I pried it open, and if I can get it open again, it was full of stuff, but the calendar on the wall was 1979. Wow. So odds are this was not open since 1979, and some of the things, again, Elton will tell you, and we found in there were mind-blowing. And this is probably one of the most active rooms in the house as far as paranormal goes. I think we all had paranormal experiences in this room. None bad. I voices yelling out, shadows walking by, cold spots, very cold spots in this room. And so it's a very active room. I'm not too sure why, and maybe because of the artifacts that were in here, but it is a active room. I don't know of anything bad happening in this room where it was horrible. Dylan, who is our house manager, he never even heard of the Amityville Horror, so this is all new to him. So we were actually building this bed, and I think we were both facing each other. It was August, there was no air conditioning, it was pretty hot in here. It was 10 at night waiting for Elton, and I felt like someone put a giant ice cube on my back. And we were both facing each other, kneeling on the ground, building this, and I kind of looked up at him, and he's looking over my shoulder, and he looked startled. That's the only way I can put it. And I said, "There's something behind me, isn't there?" And he goes, "Rick, there's a shadow, but it's not on the wall, and it just walked by you." And it walked through that wall into the other room. So it was definitely his first experience in here. I've had many, but again, it's almost not startling. It's almost like it's okay. Mm-hmm. Like I believe Lorraine's aura is here looking out after us on this first floor. Now downstairs is a different story. But this floor is definitely paranormal, without a doubt. I've seen, the first day actually I met Nick, it was that next morning, and he was sleeping in, I think, that room behind you, and I'm at the table eating breakfast, and I saw him walk out, and I yelled, "Hey Nick, there's some food over here." He didn't answer me, and I heard noises. I looked outside, he was outside. So something walked out of that room that was solid, and I walked into the living room, there was no one there. Yeah, so you get that a lot. Yeah, you get that a lot here.
I almost just.
Yeah.
Did you hear something?
You'll hear things like crazy.
There was like a.
You'll hear things
over
like
in
crazy.
this corner.
But it's his Dylan's dad. He was here one night. He's a paramedic, very level-headed guy. He was here that same night. We heard that he caught noises, voices.
So you just missed it there. I'll show you again what I've just seen, and I'll give you a little bit of explanation.
He was here that same night. We heard that he caught noises, voices in here on record.
So if you didn't see it, watch over where like the weeping angel is. So where my mouse is now, literally watch the orb that goes from over here all the way over here.
He was here that same night. We heard that he caught noises, voices in here on record.
That is crazy. That is crazy. An orb literally come from over here. It's like it was standing next to him and then just disappeared past the bed. That is nuts. That is nuts. But yeah, that's going to be part 1 of this. If you really want me to go through another 30-40 minute video, please like this video, subscribe maybe, you know. And put down in the comments part 2 and I'll do a part 2. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to watch. Again, I'll put the link down in the description if you really want to watch this. It is fun, it's interesting, and I love this. I love these types of investigations with Ed and Lorraine Warren's house, museum, and even past investigations. I love to see it because it teaches you so much into what they did. They weren't just ghost adventures, you know, ghost adventures. They weren't just like ghost hunters. They were demonologists, they were psychics, they were legends in the paranormal world. So, yeah, put down in the comments part 2, I'll do part 2. Apart from that, guys, thank you for watching, and like I said before, please do like and please do subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.